What if I told you that 80% of all realtors who fail do so because of one thing, and that's poor planning? So I want to bring you through one scenario. Imagine this. Imagine investing your time, investing your money, putting your heart into real estate business. Does this sound like you? Right? Imagine this, but then watching it crumble because you did not put the things in place to follow a strategic plan in your business. It wouldn't feel very good, would it? Now, the reason for this video is because now is the time to change your mindset so that we can prepare for the business plan and season that is upon us. For me, as I coach my mega team, it's about mindset prep so that when we march through the tactical steps in the upcoming videos, in the upcoming lessons, they're ready to take it fully in. And that's why I'm doing this for you today. So today, it's not about detailed tasks. Today is about mindset prep. Are you ready? Let's dive in. As I've been doing some research for a 2-day workshop that I'm hosting here in Calgary, Alberta in December 2nd and 3rd. If you're listening to this, you're in the area, please make sure to click the link. It'll be in the description as well. But I wanted to prepare the audience with some things. Here's point number 1 that I want all of us in this video to talk about. And it's this thing called, what is the role of a business plan anyways? Probably the best thing that I came up with was business planning for us is like planting a tree, and we put in this little seed right in the ground, right? And here's the ground, and then you've got your seed planted. What business planning is like you, as you're preparing and you're pouring stuff in here and you're adding some sunlight and some raindrops are falling and you're nurturing it with some, nutrients. You're not going to see a lot happen because this little seed is starting to grow roots and it's starting to come forward. And then eventually, a little bit later, the seed will start to grow forward towards the surface. And then a bit later, the seed will start to break the surface and you'll see its first little, leaf. Business planning is like that. You don't see results immediately, but over time, with careful planning and execution, it's going to turn into something bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is the number one point about business planning. There was this, there's a Harvard study. I mean, if you like looking into research like I do, there was a Harvard study that found that businesses with concrete plans are 16, that's a lot, % more likely to achieve their goals. So for us in real estate, planning your trajectory, I don't think is just a smart thing to do. I think it's kind of essential for this to ever happen. Okay, this brings me now to point number 2. And it's this concept of why flying without a plan leads to uncertainty. So you can picture yourself, I don't even know if I can draw this. No, I can't. That's an airplane. I'm going to say that's your little paper airplane. Flying without a plan leads to uncertainty. So think about this. Not having a plan is it'd be like navigating a maze. It'd be like navigating this crazy maze, and then somebody puts you into this maze, and it's got to go around all these sections, but you're blindfolded. Imagine being blindfolded in a maze. Maze is hard enough. That's kind of like our life here in real estate. But blindfolded in a maze is even worse. So if we talked about the stat from before where that percentage of plan creates more business, we also know that there was another study, and this was by the U.S. kind of administration office. 50% of all small business fail within 5 years. 5 years. It's not a long time. I think your real estate career, you're hoping to be longer than this. So if we don't want to become a stat, we need to have your plan and you need to figure out the step-by-step pathway to get here. And this is why, again, trying to fly a plane without a plan leads to complete uncertainty and in our case, utter failure. One of my favorite quotes that comes with this is a goal without a plan is just a wish. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Now, one of my favorite points of all business planning, and we're in this preparation stage, is I'm going to call it point 3. And this is the pre-planning stage. You can go back to some of my YouTube videos where we talked about this key step in regards to business planning. But for me, it's before you're jumping into writing the specific business plan, i.e. in this point in time, there's this critical step that we need to take that people overlook, and it's the pre-planning step. This step, it's going to fill the gap between setting the big goals that you're going to go chase and then understanding the actual little leading indicators that you're going to need to get to said goal, or maybe home's goal. The pre-planning thing is all about leading indicator and falling in love with what that is. And of course, in our business, it's not, I'm going to sell 30 homes this year. That would be a lagging indicator. That would be, did I hit the goal? The leading indicator, the pre-plan before we're setting this up, is how many people are we going to be talking to about real estate? And once you kind of reverse engineer this in the pre-planning stage, it allows you to get your mind right. Get your mind right and to be committed to the goal so that in the planning sessions, you have the ability to just march and figure out the tasks that are needed to get there. So the pre-planning moment is probably right now here as you're reverse engineering. Go back to that video and think about where does your capacity, right, to do it equaling the goal. And when we get to this, we're in that sweet spot, the pre-planning preparation. All right, we're going to go now into point number 4. Point number 4 is more about setting a strong foundation. It's kind of the importance of creating a strong foundation. What I mean for us right now in the pre-planning world is kind of to understand, again, what might your wish list be? Now, not wish list for income, because we just talked about that in point 3, but it's wish list to say, like, how am I actually going to achieve this? This would be things like, what systems am I lacking, right? What process do I know I'm a little bit slack with? And this could be as simple as, I don't capture reviews, but I want you to think about, or I never use my CRM, or I don't know how to use that software. Whatever this might be, I want you to think about it here and now as point number 4 to decide, as we're preparing for full business planning season, what is it that I need to mentally prepare for? And you allowing yourself to think on this, right? The secret, this is a Mark Twain quote, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. So let's get started with pondering what these things might be today so that when we get to business planning season, it feels more aligned and it doesn't feel such a huge thing to tackle when we're really preparing for 2025. Okay, this brings me to the final kind of preparation point. Point number 5. Planning for us can feel daunting, but I like to see it as a competitive advantage. Right, there is another stat out there, because I like my research. There's a stat that businesses with a plan will grow 30% faster than those that don't. So as we're going to roll into 2025, and we know it's going to be a competitive landscape, lots of realtors have energy at the beginning of the year. Lots of realtors are feeling that urgency jumping ahead, but are they really planned out? So in a crowded real estate market, and likely in an environment where many of us are able to see a little bit more sales than we did in 2024 because interest rates, elections are happening, and usually this triggers a bit of a spurring of action within the real estate world. It's this planning and actionable steps that give you this competitive advantage in your business. And I just want us to, again, understand the mindset, right? There's another quote, I don't know who said it, but it's victory loves preparation. Just write that down in your head. Victory loves, with the big heart, preparation. And I want you to be prepared. So for here today, like, this is kind of my final call to you guys. This little video hopefully provides you the mindset tweaks, maybe a few little quotes that you can take to prepare you in advance of planning season so that you do it right this year. Right, as we're moving into full-fledged season, I challenge you to take this time incredibly seriously. Don't let another year go just kind of throwing a haphazard plan together. Use these 5 points to help you get prepared so that when we put it together, it's better than it ever has. Now, again, I'm going to message that I'm hosting an in-person, if you're in the greater Calgary area or you want to fly in or drive in for one day, I have a 2-day intensive, 6-hour per day planning session that I'm hosting. I have never, ever in my entire career pulled back my 20 years of experience into a planning session like this. So I'm really excited to offer this out. Right now, as this video is out, there's early bird pricing as low as $197, and it's under the banner of my Thrive Not Survive event series. So you'll see that in the description in below. If this is for you, I'd love to host you. Please reach out, grab your ticket. They will be going fast because this is an intensive. Not sure if I'm ever going to do it again because of the hundreds of hours I've already done to prepare to put this into it. So hopefully you can take advantage of this opportunity.